In this lecture, we will study the convolution theorem. The convolution theorem is very important in signal processing, yet it is quite easy to understand. The statement of the convolution theorem says that the convolution of two signals in the time domain is equal to the pointwise multiplication of the same signals in the frequency domain. Now, what do we mean by time domain convolution? Everything we have done in this section so far involves time domain convolution. In time domain convolution, we have two signals, x1 of n and x2 of n, where n is the time index. We know that in time domain convolution, there are 4 steps: folding, shifting, multiplication, and addition. When we calculate convolution using for loops, we have to perform all 4 of these steps manually. However, when we use the NumPy.convolve function, that function automatically handles all 4 steps internally. So, in the time domain, the process is a bit lengthy because of these steps. But in the frequency domain, convolution becomes much simpler. It turns into pointwise multiplication. This means we only need to multiply. We do not need to shift, fold, or add. According to this theorem, if we transform our signals into the frequency domain, convolution becomes equivalent to simple element-wise multiplication. Now we will prove this theorem. First, we will take 2 signals in the time domain and calculate their convolution as we have been doing throughout this section. Then, we will transform these signals into the frequency domain, multiply them pointwise, and verify that the result matches the time domain convolution. Let's begin the proof of the convolution theorem. First, we import all the required Python modules. After running this cell, the necessary modules are available in our working environment. We will use the same signal and kernel as in our earlier numerical example. If you remember, our signal had 5 samples and our kernel had 3 samples. So let's run this cell to generate those. Next, we perform the time domain convolution using NumPy.convolve with 2 inputs, the signal and the kernel. After running this, we get the same result as we obtained earlier when we implemented convolution in Python manually. The output sequence has 7 samples, which means we performed a full mode convolution. This is our time domain convolution result. Now, to prove the theorem, we will perform convolution in the frequency domain. For this, we import SciPy, which stands for Scientific Python. Inside SciPy, there is a function called FFT, which means fast Fourier transform. The fast Fourier transform converts a signal from the time domain into the frequency domain. Here, the number of output samples, denoted as n-convolve, is 7, the same as the output length of the time domain convolution. We must remember this value because it will define the size of our frequency domain signals. When performing convolution in the frequency domain, the signal and kernel must be of the same length to allow for pointwise multiplication. Therefore, we will take the Fourier transform of both signals, each having 7 samples. If you find this part confusing, do not worry. We will cover the fast Fourier transform in detail in a later section. For now, we are only using it to prove the convolution theorem. Let's run this cell. We have now transformed both the signal and the kernel into the frequency domain, which we denote as sigma f and curve f. Next, we perform element-wise multiplication between these 2 frequency domain signals. For element-wise multiplication, both signals must be the same size, and here both have 7 samples. After multiplying them, we obtain the convolution result in the frequency domain. Since this result is still in the frequency domain, we now apply the inverse fast Fourier transform, written as IFFT, to convert it back to the time domain. Once converted, we can compare this result with the original time domain convolution. When we do this, we find that both results are exactly the same. In other words, the convolution computed directly in the time domain and the one computed through pointwise multiplication in the frequency domain yield identical outputs. Let's plot the results to visualize this. In the plot, the time domain convolution is shown with green markers, and the frequency domain convolution is shown with red markers. You can see that the green and red lines overlap perfectly. This confirms that the convolution computed in both domains produces the same result. Therefore, the convolution theorem is proven. We performed convolution in the time domain using NumPy.convolve, and in the frequency domain, we first transformed both signals using the fast Fourier transform, multiplied them pointwise, and then used the inverse fast Fourier transform to convert the result back into the time domain. Both results match perfectly, demonstrating that the convolution of two signals in the time domain is equivalent to their pointwise multiplication in the frequency domain.